Hey folks, it's Dave Neal here. We have an update on Candace Owens versus Brigitte Macron, the defamation lawsuit that is going down. 220-page lawsuit filed by the First Lady of France, claiming that Candace Owens has been defaming her. Well, now Megyn Kelly, of course, talks about it, as everybody is, and Candace calls Megyn Kelly a coward. We have Megyn Kelly's response. I'm going to share with you guys 3 different notable clips from that conversation. You can judge for yourself if you think Megyn was a coward in her coverage. So it starts here with Candace Owens calling out Megyn by saying, from transgenderism to COVID, Megyn Kelly has consistently been on the wrong side of every issue. She thinks she's smarter than her audience, but she isn't. She is being destroyed in her own comment section for trying to do a hit piece on me in defense of Brigitte Macron. Again, I'm going to share what Candace had to say. You guys can decide if it's a hit piece. I will say this, though. Sharing a comment section is not any proof whatsoever. I've learned this having read comments in my very measured and I believe centrist coverage of this case. But Candace then goes on to say, discussing a series while consciously choosing not to show even 1 minute from that series, while also admitting that you never watched it, makes you a coward at best. At worst, an unwitting defender of an orbit of PDF files is what we'll call it. Adam Gross says, do you even listen to it? It wasn't a hit piece. Well, I'll let you guys judge for yourself. But first, Megyn responds and says, actually, this segment was very fair to Candace Owens with straight legal analysis of Macron's claims. If anything, I was skeptical about them arguing Candace really seems to believe her statements, which may save her legally. But some people spend their days looking for new enemies. Now, listen, I am always torn on Megyn Kelly. I like her, but not because I agree with her. I like her when she's at her best, which is providing a both sides argument. Who's in the right? Candace believes this. The Macrons believe that. The Macrons will have to prove this in court. That's what I love about Megyn Kelly. At Megyn Kelly's worst is when she falls into these culture war battles, which I just don't think are needed. Take, for instance, this Beyonce denim advertisement. You know, if you like Beyonce and denim, buy the denim. If you don't. Megyn said this. This is the opposite of the Sydney Sweeney ad. Quite clearly, there is nothing natural about Beyonce. Everything from her image to her fame to her success to her look below is bought and paid for. Screams artificial, fake, enhanced, trying too hard. Do we really have Megyn Kelly trying to tell us what's artificial and what's not? Look in the mirror. No offense to Megyn Kelly here, with all due respect. But you're pitting a black artist against a white actress, and you're really playing to the lowest common denominator of, or I should say to the lowest form of an audience that's going to want to say, white girl doing a jean ad is better than black girl doing a jean ad. Who the hell cares? Let them sell their denim. But I digress. So we're going to get into just exactly what was said here. I got these 3 clips for you from Megyn Kelly. I don't want to sway anyone's opinion, but I don't understand what Candace is talking about when she says that they are cowardly. Have a listen.
Oh, and it's never happened before. So she's not backing down 1 bit. And it is reckless for the Macrons to sue Candace Owens for defamation if this is true, right? It's somewhat reckless for them to do it.
I agree. If what Candace is saying is true, this is super reckless by the Macrons.
Because Candace is not wrong. She will get the chance to ask those questions through her lawyer directly to the First Lady of France, Arthur. So what is really going on here, and how do you like the Macrons' chances?
This is nuts.
Pardon the pun.
The truth is an absolute defense, right? And that's the law, right? So this is not a hard case to prove or disprove. It's a matter of you can actually get there. In other words, you get a judge to rule at some point, what anatomy is attached to the body.
Now, here's the clip that probably got Megyn Kelly in trouble with the Candace Owens audience, where she admits she didn't actually watch it. Have a listen.
She's so close to the line, if not over it. It's one thing to just say someone looks like a man. Okay, that's protected. Offensive, but protected. It's another thing to say, maybe this happened, maybe that happened. She's reporting something, and she's coming out with a statement, and then trying to come up with some theory to back it up. In one respect, again, it doesn't have to be true. What she's saying doesn't have to be true. It just has to be not a reckless disregard of the truth. So if she's got theories to back it up, then okay. But if that's the best she's got, it seems completely half-cocked, again, pun intended.
Well, that's her rebuttal. Her case in chief, and I confess I haven't watched any of this. I have more important things to do than worry about Brigitte Macron. But
all right, so that's the part where Candace Owens is upset right there. that Megyn Kelly's got more important stuff to do than Candace Owens. Okay, all right, I'll give you that, Candy.
Producers watched it, and they did tell me, and they have nothing against Candace, but they did say that it's thin and it's disjointed and it's hard to follow at times, and it sounds a lot like conspiracy. Some of the conspiracies that we've criticized in the past have come true. That I don't know whether this will be one of them, but I don't totally get, like, she is positing that Brigitte is a man.
All right, so then she goes through the same thing everyone goes through, where you try to relitigate what the hell she even what is she even saying? And again, there's a lot of conspiracy entanglement between the claims Candace is making. But look, I think if anyone wants to believe Candace Owens, I think it would be fair to also understand why people like Megyn Kelly's producers, who did watch it, say, yeah, it's kind of sloppy. There's a lot of claims made. There's no smoking gun, put it that way. To be fair, I don't know if Brigitte Macron's side has a smoking gun either. Brigitte Macron's side has photos and a birth announcement and things like that. Candace Owens says, well, but that can all be explained away. So the question becomes, does Candace Owens have enough sort of reason to believe the claims she's making that would kind of protect her from the malice that would be needed to prove in order for defamation to be seen here. So again, I think Megyn Kelly and I think this whole segment is completely fair coverage.
7.
I don't know what she knows to be true or not. She says a lot of lies. How do you know that she's lying as opposed to a deeply disturbed individual? Well, it could be both, of course.
It's one of the reasons why our complaint is 219 pages long. We wanted to lay out exactly that. We wanted to explain to the court, and we wanted to explain to the people that will see our lawsuit how we can prove that she knows it's false. And we have put this information directly in front of her. Even if you want to give her a pass for the early crazy stuff that she said, after we put facts and information in front of her, black and white, multiple times.
What? Like the First Lady's birth certificate? Like what kind of facts?
Yeah, we have laid out extensive evidence in our complaint demonstrating that she was born a woman, she's always been a woman, and the allegations of CIA control conspiracy and the incest and all the other things are demonstrably false.
Now, in the complaint, they say all of the evidence, but they don't actually show it. That'll be in exhibits. So we are forced to believe that the Macrons have provided Candace this evidence. I would love to see the December retraction email that they sent to Candace Owens. They're and they cite that nonstop within their 220-page document. You can watch my live stream from Saturday night if you want to listen to the whole thing. They make a ton of claims. There's like 20 different types of defamation and false light, and they literally go through every single episode. So Macron's side is very clear on where they think Candace lied and was wrong. And this idea that, well, Brigitte Macron never actually said she was born a woman. That's completely refuted if you look at that complaint. So there'll be folks that say, did you even watch Candace's documentary, blah, blah, blah? Well, I just encourage those folks. Did you even read Brigitte Macron's complaint? Because if we are going to call balls and strikes, we need to do it for both teams.
This is the complaint. It is huge.
Wow.
And it does have pictures of Brigitte Macron through childhood, and it's got all the things that we've been talking about. And their point is this was all given to Candace before they filed the lawsuit in this December retraction demand. And she didn't. And I think the reason she didn't, I think the worst case scenario for Candace is she didn't because she doesn't believe that. Okay? So is that defamation? You know, Mark, like she rejected it. And let's go the nastiest like possible interpretation of what she's done. She's a conspiracy theorist who got twisted up on this Macron thing, and it's not true, and she refuses to see reason. I'm not sure that's reckless disregard. That's the worst case scenario. The best case scenario for Candace is it's true when these people are lying about it because they don't want to be humiliated.
Tapper makes a good point. If she's, and I don't know her like Arthur does, I don't know her at all. Let's say she's a little wacky. Let's say she's a little off, right? And beats to her own drum. Again, that's going to help her. If she doesn't know it to be false, like they're claiming. I mean, the plaintiffs came out there on his show and said, we believe we can prove she knew it to be false. Wow. But let's go to the second tier. A reckless
He's not going to be able to do
truth.
that.
Well, he claimed, I mean, it's amazing that he,
No way.
Listen, if I'm an attorney,
if he's
I
got
don't go to the
an
highest
audio
tier.
tape, it'd have to be an audio tape of her being like, I know it's not true. I'm just doing it for ratings.
Right. But the key is whether it's a reckless disregard, and the fact that she's eccentric, a little wacky, whatever that is, I believe can help her.
Yeah, and listen, I mean, Candace is so busy wanting to have a war with Megyn Kelly, and maybe that's for ratings too. Or maybe Candace is just super thin-skinned. I think she's thick-skinned when it comes to dealing with these massive lawsuits, but I do think she's extremely defensive. Now, if you want to argue, that's a narcissist, they can never admit they're wrong. I have no idea, right? I have no idea what's going on with Candace Owens, but she's been involved in cancel culture since before her brain was finished being developed, right? I mean, let's be fair. She's been canceled and admonished and ostracized and all these things for years. So she's just like this rattling ball of emotions ready to say, no, you're the coward. And it's like, what are you talking about? Right? Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Hit the subscribe button. I think I'm being pretty fair here. Now, they provide a great defense for Candace, which is she's kooky and she believes it. Now, she literally talks about this satanic blood cult that's all around the world and whatever. So if she believes it, then it's not actual malice. Now, here's what's interesting. Coming out of Reuters, fact check, French court ruled on defamation case appeals, not Brigitte Macron's gender, right? We're seeing a lot of misinformation out there about, well, Candace, they'll say, well, actually, Brigitte Macron lost her case on appeal. How come they weren't able to win if what they were saying was false, whatever? A court in France ruled in early July on a defamation case involving Brigitte Macron, the wife of French President Emmanuel Macron, not on her gender, contrary to online claims. So either way, Brigitte Macron is not a woman, said one July 13th Facebook post. What once sounded like a conspiracy theory now stands confirmed in a court ruling. So again, that's just fake news. That's just not true. So the French system's very different here. But if Candace wins this, it might not be because Candace Owens is telling the truth. It's that she believes she is telling the truth. I always encourage my audience to, just go with what is normally the most simple thing. Conspiracies are generally interesting, most of the time not true, although sometimes they are. And it's important to be, I wouldn't even say cynical, but definitely critical to go, okay, what's the motivation between this Manchurian candidate? They needed to change genders. I mean, to be quite honest, if you were going to have Brigitte Macron as some sort of Manchurian candidate, and why would you change her identity if she was born a man? Men have a better chance, at least in that political climate back decades ago, to, achieve success. Again, I know, pick it apart all you want. I'm just spitballing and saying, doesn't pass my sniff test. And folks have said, Dave, I thought you were going to wait for the court case to be over before making your final judgment. I got the gavel right here. The gavel doesn't get made until the case is over. But as far as I'm concerned right now, my general belief is Brigitte Macron, and again, subject to change based on evidence. And I think we need to live in a society where we give each other more grace for that. Subject to change based on evidence. My general belief right now is that Brigitte Macron was born a woman. Candace Owens believes what she's saying, and that's in part because the way her brain works. And that's how I feel. We'll have to see about it, but if you enjoy my coverage, hit the subscribe button. We're going to be back in a few hours with our Afternoon Rush Hour podcast. We have all pop culture, political content, all in one place. You can catch it on audio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, pop it in your car and you drive home, or it'll be on YouTube as well. We'll see you then. I'm Dave. This was The Rush.